TC, I mean, you're a former walk-on, and now you've carved a role in the rotation. What has really worked for you, allowed you to get to this point?
Well, man, what really worked for me was my hard work and dedication over the summer. You know, I knew coming back, trying to play for Coach Kermit, under Coach Kermit Davis, you know, it was going to be tough. And he already told me, you know, it was no promises, you know, that I was going to be able to get any playing time. But he told me if I worked hard, you know, and I did, and I had to prove myself to him that I was worthy to be able to play on this team, and I did.
When y'all had those conversations, what was your initial reaction to them? I would assume that for most it would be, well, I'm going to go look at my options. I mean, were you just, what was your, were you more resolute in terms of wanting to stay?
Really? Nah, I didn't really want to leave at all because, you know, I had it's a lot of people who really, you know, try to lead me towards, you know, leaving Ole Miss, saying that I could go to a smaller school, you know, being able to play there, which I knew I could do, but I wanted to prove to myself as well to other people that I can play on this high Division I level basketball as well. So no, I didn't have the idea of leaving. You know, I had a lot of things I had to prove to myself and other people, you know, that I could prove them wrong, that I could play on this level. So that's why I stayed.
I'm sorry, you talked about proving to yourself. Did you ever have any periods where you kind of doubted you could pull this off?
I did. I kind of doubted myself sometimes, you know, based on just off of my size. You know, I'm a smaller guard, but at the same time, I had to look in the mirror and say to myself, like, this is what I really wanted. So, you know, I had to put forth in the work, you know, to be able to do the things that I said that I could do.
What do you have to overcome, you know, by not being 6'4", you know, not being 220?
Well, just really overcoming defensive-wise, just being able to guard, you know, bigger guards than me. You know, I'm a lot quicker, I believe, than most of the taller guards. But just being able to guard and defend better, that's really about the only thing.
What did you have to do in the summer to? I mean, they recruited a lot of guards. I mean, Franco, Luis, and you name a number of guards. What did you have to do to hold those guys off? And because Kermit said on whatever the first season opened on Saturday that you beat those guys out. What did you have to do that?
Like I said, man, I work day in and day out, man. I work Sunday to Monday every day with Nick Williams. He was a former basketball player here. Me and him put in a lot of hours in, and I really thank him for that too. You know, we put in a lot of hard work over the summer, and that's all we did. I worked on my jumper, worked on finishing at the rim, you know, worked on defense and all those things. So he really played a big part of why I'm in the rotation right now.
Take us through one of those days with Nick. Like, when did it start? What don't you do?
What we would do is, you know, we would come in, we warm up, we would do layups, finishes at the rim, and then we would do 3-point shots. We would shoot 5 in the corner, 5 on the wing, 5 from the top. We would go around, and then we would get into a little bit of full court action. You know, he'll play defense. You know, I work on my handles and things and such like that. We would get 2 balls. We would dribble 2 balls. He'll throw a tennis ball at me. I had to make a move, catch the tennis ball, throw it back, things of that such. So we really did a lot of basketball drills, a lot of work.
Did you approach Nick for the help, or did he come to you?
I came to him. It was really mutual, I guess you could say, but I believe I came to him more than he came to me, and we agreed on the situation.
What was it about him that made you think he'd be able to help?
Man, just him being a former player here, which he was, I guess he was, I could say pretty okay. But nah, he was a good player, man. But he really stood out to me, man, because he's a great scorer. You know, he could shoot the ball, he could score really whenever he wanted to, and I believe that he was the best help for me that I can get while I was up here.
What role is Kermit asking of you? What does he want you to do?
The role for me is just to come in off the bench. I really don't care about starting. Coming in off the bench, bringing a lot of high energy, defending, you know, getting steals, and getting back in transition defense. Just guarding the ball. That's it, really.
What are some of the big picture differences between last year and now with Kermit?
Last year, man, I believe that when I came in last year, I really didn't I was just here to be how you say, what you call it, a practice guy, you know, just to help out the team. You know, I didn't really have a role at all. And from this year with Kermit, I mean, I believe it's going to be the same way. But last year, I don't believe I had the same mindset as far as working hard, you know, as hard as I did this year. So I believe that changed. That's what changed a lot for me and my role here at Ole Miss.
What was it like getting that scholarship, and did you expect it? Was it a surprise to you?
Nah, man, it actually was a shock to me, you know. That just lets you know that hard work, you know, really pays off, because it wasn't a promise that I was going to get a scholarship. And I really thank Coach Kermit for that, you know, giving me an opportunity and a chance, you know, to be able to prove myself to him as well as my teammates and staff. And then, you know, that I was worthy to play for this team.
You're one of the older players on this team. What is something that you could bring to the table to help the younger guys that are just coming into the program?
Energy, focusedness, man, you got to come in focused each and every day, because every day is going to get tougher. You know, Coach Kermit, he's a great coach. You know, he's going to coach you hard. All he wants is the best out of you. You know, he's going to stay on you. And just, man, just come in, you know, when he get on you, not to get discouraged, because I see a lot of younger players, they kind of get discouraged when coach get on them or whatever like that, but I just tell them to keep their heads up and just keep pushing forward.
What about Coach Davis's system kind of plays well into what you do?
His system, I love his system. It's more of a pass first, you know, pass, cut, you know, we don't do too many off the dribble type things, you know. You get the ball moving from the first side of the floor to the second and third side of the floor, you know, and we score better when we get the ball on the third side of the floor, when we get it moving, instead of just taking it off the dribble, trying to do one thing, score, without moving the ball. So moving the ball is a really big deal for us.
You're a Mississippi kid, TD's a Mississippi kid, Bruce from Mississippi, your coach is from Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
How does that let you take a little bit more pride in finishing out your basketball career on a strong note?
Feels good, man, to have 3 Mississippi guys, man. Are we all in the same class? You know, I played with Bruce back in high school when we had All-Star game. I played against him as well. I played against TD as well. And it was just, you know, kind of weird, you know, running into those guys again a few years later. But it's a cool feeling, man. I just, you know, I wish the best for both of them. You know, I just can't wait to have a great winning season with these guys as well.